Hey there, you guys, it's me, Crystal, and I got some books, so I'm going to start with the ebooks. Some of these were free downloads. I don't normally download a lot of free books because it just adds to my TBR problem, but these sounded really interesting, and I also recently figured out how to categorize my ebooks on my Kindle app, and so I have a folder for, books that I've read and books that I want to read soon, and like nonfiction books, and it's just great. So the first book up is You Are Mine by Janelle Fowler. I think this is paranormal. That's all I remember, but obviously it sounded really interesting, so I downloaded it. And then next is The Midnight Sea by Kat Ross. Again, it just sounded really interesting. And then I downloaded Frenzy by Cassie Bond. I do actually know what this is about. I think it's a new adult paranormal romance with vampires, and I met the author at the writing conference I went to this past June, and she was really interesting, and I got one of her other books that is also really interesting, and so when I saw this one, when it came across my path, I decided to go ahead and download it. And yeah. And the last free book is Agent of Enchantment by C.N. Crawford and Alex Rivers. I don't know anything about this other than there's some dark fairies and it's new adult urban fantasy. Outside of the Sookie Stackhouse series, I haven't read any other books, involving, the fae and the dark fairies. So when I saw this, I was like, I've been wanting to read a book by C.N. Crawford, and I've been wanting to read more dark fairy stuff. Just to see if I like it, so yeah. So the last free book is actually a book I won in a Rafflecopter giveaway, and that is The Space Between by Susan Rook. I think this might also have fairies in it, and based on the cover, maybe a dragon, I don't know, but it sounded interesting, so I entered the giveaway, and I won, so yeah. So the first ebook I bought is Celestial Magic by Emma Adams. This is urban fantasy, and that's all I remember about it, but it sounded really, really good, so I picked it up. And the last ebook I bought is Through the Shattered Looking Glass by M.L. Crane. This is an adult Alice in Wonderland retelling. I think there are some supernatural elements. That's really all I know about it, but it sounds amazing, so I finally bought the book because it's been on my TBR for like 3 years. And in that same vein, I also moved Insanity by Cameron Jace up my TBR because that is also an Alice in the Wonderland retelling, and I've also been wanting to read this for a few years, although I think this one is a YA retelling, but either way, I moved it up on my TBR, and now that I can see all my ebooks and they're in categories, hopefully I'll get to it soon. So the first in the physical books is manga, so I picked up NUX Boku, an author I follow on Instagram. She does a manga Monday sometimes, and she was talking about this sometime last month, and it sounded interesting, so I picked this one up. And then next, I picked up the second part of Sailor Moon, and I also picked up the third part of Sailor Moon. In that same vein, I picked up 2 graphic novels, Giant Days Volume 4 and Giant Days Volume 5. These are both contemporary comedies set in the UK, and the third volume has been the best to date, so I'm really looking forward to these two because they've been a lot of fun to read. So next I picked up Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Finally, I saw the movie a few years ago and I rewatched it in October and I love it, and it's so creepy. So in case you're not familiar, Coraline is a middle grade horror. It is very creepy and it's very good, and I've been wanting to read the book for a couple years, so I finally picked it up. And next I got The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. I am currently reading the first book in this trilogy, which is The Bear and the Nightingale, and I did get a arc of this book, but I saw the signed ones at Barnes & Noble, and I wanted to get the signed one because it's exciting, so. And the last book I picked up this month is Unlocked by Margot Kelly. The only thing I can remember about this book is that it's like a young adult, maybe some supernatural, paranormal elements, I don't know, but it's about this girl, and she starts seeing things, and it just sounded really exciting, so I grabbed it. So these are all the physical books that I got in the last couple of months. And getting my ebook TBR organized has inspired me to get my print book TBR organized. So I don't put books in the order that I want to read them, but the books that I'm the most excited about are the books that are on the ebook list and the books that are on the print list. So that way, if nothing else, at least I know I'm reading the books that I'm the most excited about right now. So that is all for today, and it's also my last video for the year. So I will see you guys probably on the 1st, if not the 1st, then the 2nd. So yeah, so I hope you guys are having a great week and that you had a great Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And I will see you guys next year. Bye.